What's up, y'all? It's your boy Flex and Rule back at it again with another video, y'all. And today we're gonna be talking about credit score, what it is, and how to build it up. You know, it's very important, especially when you turn 18. You know, that's when you're legal and you're adult, and that's when your credit starts. You know, so pay attention to that. When you turn 18 years old, that's when reality hits you. That's when you're adult, and the system is gonna look at you different now. You know, you're gonna have all these options and stuff when you're 18, a lot more than when you're 17, you know. So when you're 18, you're gonna have a lot of options. You know, your credit starts, you know, I believe your credit starts when you're 18 years old. It's like around 400 to 500 credit score, somewhere around there. But you gotta build it up, you know. And how to build it up, you know, you could do different things to be able to build your credit up. You know, so first off, what is credit? You know, credit is basically, you know, so say if you go look at a car and you want to see the Carfax, you know, the history of the car, you know, how it's taken care of and stuff like that. So the same thing as you yourself, an individual person, the banks and people that are going to look at you and see how your credit is, you know, to see your history. You know, if you paid off things, if you're on time for paying your bills, you got a house under your name, a car under your name, jewelry, whatever the case may be, whatever you sign things under your name and you pay for it with credit. That's what credit is. It's just a history to see if you're trustworthy to these lenders, to these banks, to do business with. You know, that's why it's very important, because when you want to go finance a house, when you want to go finance a car, lease a car, they're going to check your credit. And if your credit score ain't good, you know, they're going to hit you with a, you're not accepted, you know, we can't find no bank. And if they do find a bank, the majority of the time, your interest rate is going to be high. So if you're looking for a $30,000 car, and your interest rate is high, you're gonna be end up paying like around 40,000. So 10 extra thousand, 8 extra thousand in damn interest. So that's why it's very important to keep your credit score clean, your credit score good, pay off these lenders. You know, and lenders are banks, you know, just an average bank in your local city, your local town, your state, whatever the case may be. But that's why it's very important to do to keep your credit clean. You know, I kind of had a late start. Like when I was 18, you know, my mindset is like, man, I don't care about credit. I got cash. I'm gonna just pay everything cash. But as I got older, like 19, 20, to buy things, and people were, oh, how's your credit score? Then it wasn't good, because at the time during 18, I had like a Verizon bill or a Sprint bill in my name, and I didn't care about it. I didn't pay on it. Then it went into collections, you know. So when it's collections, it goes into your credit, meaning it's bad. So that's what happened with my credit. But, you know, I paid it off. You know, it's never too late to build your credit. I paid it off and built my credit up like that. You know, now that's off my credit, I don't show no more, and I start to build up my credit by, you know, paying on a car, you know, getting a loan through a car, getting a loan through jewelry, you know, stuff like that. A small amount though, that's I could pay off easily. So the banks like to see a history of your payments, meaning you're trustworthy. Like, he pays his bills on time, she pays her bills on time, you know, he pays the minimum amount, sometimes he pays more, whatever the case may be. But that's the thing, you always want to pay on your shit when you got credit. When you got a loan out, when you got something under your name and you got to pay on it, make sure you pay it. That's very important, to pay off this debt that you go into. That's how people trust you. That's how banks trust you. When I opened up a shop at 21 years old, my credit was already good, it was established. So that made them trust. The property manager asked me, how's your credit score? You know, and I confidently said it's good, you know. But if I was in that predicament where I didn't care about credit, I wouldn't be accepted to get a barbershop. And some, you know, and there's some private owners that will accept you, but majority of the time it's these property managers that do background checks on you. You know, why would they want somebody in their shop or to run a business if they're not taking care of their shit? You know, especially with a house or a car, same scenario. Like, you got to make sure you pay on your shit so they can trust you to loan the money, so they could trust you to renting out this house, you know, got no eviction, all that stuff. So that's very important to make sure your credit's good. Yeah, so that's what I had to say about that. You know, just pay attention, and when you start your credit, keep your debt minimum. You know, there's different ways to build your credit. Like I said, you could do an inside loan. You could go to your local bank and just tell them you want to do an inside loan, meaning it's your own money, you deposit. They say it's a loan and you just pay on it every month. Then you receive that money back. If you need more information on it, you can go to your local bank and ask about it and tell them you want to do an inside loan of your money. But another thing is, like, credit unions is always good your loans with, and to get to do credit with. You know, credit unions are always going to be a better bank than regular banks. So, and I highly recommend you to get a credit union bank to sign up with that. You know, no charges and all that. They're more flexible on interest rates, and they're more, you know, get you a credit union. Me personally, I have a golden one, but there's other great ones. Safe Credit Union, Schools, different other ones. Travis Credit Union. Just highly recommend y'all to the upcoming youth and recommend people, you know, older or younger, you know, keep your debt minimum where you can easily pay off that debt. You know, even a year from now, if things go bad, can you still pay off that debt? Because at the end of the day, the banks don't care if you lost your job. They don't got no sympathy. That's just reality what it is. They just want their money back, you know, and that's just anybody. Like, man, if you're loaning 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, you know, to a person, they want all that money. That's a lot of money, you know, they loaned out. So, and that's the thing. Don't ever go bankruptcy. Well, try not to, you know, try not to get to that. But, you know, don't ever have cars be repossessed, furniture, TV, you know, none of that shit. You know, if you can't pay for it in a year, 2 years, don't do it then. So be financially smart, you know, when it comes to your credit, you know, and take this video for what it is, you know, acknowledge it and get, this is free game right here, you know. But that's just my advice from myself to y'all. And, you know, I highly recommend y'all to keep your debt low. You can start off with a credit card. If you spend money on gas that you're going to spend your money on anyways, you might as well do it, you know, pay a little interest, but at the same time it's going to benefit you and build your credit. Pay your minimum payment, you know, that's very important. Pay that bill that's due every month. Pay it on time. Don't be late, because it's going to be on your credit if you pay late. Oh yeah, he pays late, he's never on time. So it's very important to pay on time and pay the minimum payment. My advice is to start off with a gas card. You know, it's something that, you know, you're going to spend money on regardless, and just pay on it every month, and it's just going to slowly build up. Then it's going to make you more options. But make sure you're in a predicament where you're making a certain amount of income where you can easily pay off the credit, you know, the debt is what I'm saying. You can easily pay off the debt. So make sure that comes into being financially smart with your money too. So that was my advice to y'all. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, like this video, drop comments if you got any advice or any more you know, questions you want to ask. Hit me up on Instagram at FlexandRue or The Lavish Barber. All right, y'all.